What force of evil transforms a reportedly quiet teenager from a small town in the Susquehanna Valley into a violent white supremacist willing to walk into a grocery store and slaughter 10 innocent people for no reason other than the color of their skin? The horror of what happened in Buffalo is hard to think about, much less talk about, but I like to believe every week on this show we endeavor to discuss the hard stuff. Panel, we have all heard some version of replacement theory from American politicians who dabble dangerously around its edges. I go to you, Marcus Davis. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are, where did we get this idea of a transformation? I'm lost on that. And this narrative, we never see a black kid from Chicago who shoots this, that, and the third. Oh, he was so peaceful and he transformed into this. This only comes with the privilege of white, right? How do we have this idea that, oh, he was a good boy and then all of a sudden he transformed? There is no evidence of that. Additionally, when does quiet equal good and not evil? The Unabomber was quiet. He did not, he was not loud. Jeffrey Dahmer was quiet. This idea of, oh, they were once innocent and now all of a sudden they just did a little thing. This is how we ended up with January 6th, where we have these people that we say, oh, they were just good people that all of a sudden did a little something. No, they meant there was a coup that tried to take over the United States government. Had they been brown, had they been Muslim, they would have been taken up on charges higher than this, such as sedition and treason. This narrative that we put out about, oh, he was a good little boy turned bad. No, that's not true. There's no evidence of that.
All right, look, my distant relatives were Irish. There were signs that said, no, Irish need not apply. Gary, this dabbling around the edges of, oh, people are coming here and they're gonna wipe us out and minimize us. Does that worry you?
No, because I don't think anyone who comes to the country legally and comes to the country is fine. The great thing about America is we've been a melting pot and we've gotten some of the best of all cultures that come here. Of course, we have a problem with illegal entry now and it's out of control. But here's the problem we don't talk about. And it's interesting. 2 points. Number one, there's dishonesty in the response. So when the perpetrator is a crazy white racist, we know that he's his race. When they have another color, if you study the major media, they don't tell you what the color is. The Waukesha guy, they don't.
Oh my God!
You check the Waukesha. That's the major media. They don't tell us the race. And by the way, the race is really irrelevant. The race is irrelevant, excuse me, because it's about these crazy people with ridiculous ideas who perpetrate these massacres. So we've had all different colors do it in the country. The other thing that goes on is there a serious discussion about what our real problem is. And that doesn't happen. We have the politicians, I'm taking Marcus's hat, they play the blame game. Let's see if we can blame the Republicans. Let's see if we'll blame the Democrats. Instead of talking about what the real crisis in this country is, and it's mental illness. This is every one of these people that were involved in this crazy stuff are mentally ill. And our answer to mental illness today is dumping them on the streets, basically giving no treatment, doing nothing. And we need a serious discussion about that.
Charles Blaine, 30 seconds there. I'm thinking of the subway shooter in New York recently. I think we knew what race he was, but go ahead.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the race is irrelevant when it's a non-racially motivated attack. That's why they don't bring up the race in those instances, because when it is racially motivated, that is important. And the only thing I'll disagree with Marcus about is that, if it was black people who went to the Capitol, they wouldn't have made it in the door. So they wouldn't have had time to get charged with anything. But what's frustrating about this is that the rhetoric has doubled down since this has happened about the great replacement theory, and you see it all over Twitter and elsewhere, and we keep enabling these people. I don't think it's mental illness. I think some people are pure evil and they're racist and they are bad people, and they're not mentally ill because that is a sickness, and a sickness can be addressed, but these people are just evil. And so, this guy, People enable it. There's a New York State Assemblyman who fired 3 of his staffers because they wanted him to come out and condemn this action, so he fired them instead. Those kind of people who enable this kind of stuff, they allow it to continue. The people who allow this to go on social media so that other people can see it and replicate it, those are the people that keep enabling this. But it's ultimately up to his parents. What were they doing? Because this was not the first time he had these racist tendencies.
Tony, real quick, this was eerily similar to the guy who went to El Paso. Manifesto, replacement theory. You got 30 seconds.
Well, we'll talk about that supremacist in a second, but I do have to disagree with Gary, because if you're watching the news, if a crime is committed and it happens to be someone Latino, they will mention that they're Latino. If a police officer is killed and he's Latino, they don't say it was a Latino protecting everyone else. That's not mentioned. But I do want to talk about these supremacists, because there's a pattern. There is a pattern. You have supremacists who are watching and taking all these ideas, not in schools. So we need to get off this whole idea of critical race theory. Replacement theory is surrounding a lot of youth who are confused and need models and need help, and instead they are becoming supremacists themselves. That needs to stop.